Who changed the Poopoopeepee skit? I want answers, damn it.
I did. Frankly, you're not as funny as you think.
The Poopoopeepee skit was some great work. And for somebody who doesn't even write these things, you sure have a lot of opinions about my skits.
So what? I gotta do your job now, too? What do you want to take on? The drawing? The marketing? How about the editing?
Well, no. But you're stopping good jokes from hitting the interwebs.
Good jokes. You're reporting on a story about poo-poo and pee-pee.
Right?
My God, you're such a child. The only people that laughed at that were the kids.
Writers laughed.
They laughed at the fact that a 45-year-old man suggested it.
So? That just makes it funnier.
Only to you, because you're a big man, baby.
Oh, the truth is, if I was uncensored, this show would be even more hilarious.
I agree.
Well, then what's the problem?
We would also be unemployed. You can't sell that misogynistic comedy to the networks. Not to Netflix. You couldn't even push that out on YouTube. I guess the internet just has to be a lot more boring nowadays.
Still, it'd be funnier. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tooned In. I'm your host, Shawn Geekory, where we walk a fine line between informative and humorous, while we're not very good at either one of them. Our top stories. Skirts for men. That's exactly what we heard last week when The Guardian reported that designers are creating skirts for men at an increasing rate. During the pandemic, fashion designers are finding some men will opt for the free-flowing garment rather than the traditional pants or slacks they relied on for years. The fashion industry has been pushing for men to adopt the use of the traditional women's garments for many years, but men were generally put off by the confusing sizes and lack of pockets or any useful storage compartments. The fashion industry responded to these complaints with the MERS, which is roughly around the time that most men wised up and realized what they were doing. However, there are a special few that get through the machismo filter and have escaped into their very own kilted free-flowing bliss. We here at the station know a few Scotsmen that were drawn for a Hyundai commercial, and when we told them about this skirt business, they looked at us as if we were real people. Apparently, there's a difference between wearing a blood-soaked battle-scarred kilt and prancing around Rodeo Drive in Louis Vuitton's latest pinstripe mini. A downtown Austin home was surrounded by police last week in an effort to quarantine a possible suspect after a homeowner alerted the police department about a burglar in their home. The police deployed helicopters to the area and yelled commands at the house for over 5 hours, but there was no response from inside. SWAT teams positioned around the house, and the teams slowly began to dismantle the beautiful property. They started to remove a large section of the backyard fence so they could take up sniper positions in the rear quarter. After causing more damage to the home than a hurricane, the department decided to step it up a notch. After barking orders at the home for over 9 hours, the go-ahead was given to enter the premises. And enter they did. They crashed out all the windows on the main floor and a few from upstairs. They filled the house with tear gas and scorched the floors with flashbang grenades, leaving the home looking like the scene from a Michael Bay movie. After an exhaustive search, the police department realized they deployed a rather large amount of resources to ascertain a suspect they did not have a description of, in a home that was completely empty. Turns out the burglar escaped without notice. It's important to keep in mind that U.S. federal judges often rule, when acting in their lawful role, in their process to arrest a criminal suspect, police departments are not liable for any damages caused to property, even if that property is owned by someone not involved in the crime. When Tooned In News found out about this story, we called our insurance company to ensure we were protected against this type of ordeal. We found out we are indeed protected against police destroying our property in an effort to ascertain a criminal suspect, up to $2,000. However, the studios are insured against theft for tens of thousands. That being said, if you can expect your local police department to leave your house in the same state as a hurricane, maybe instead of calling them, you should just put your insurance company on speed dial and pick up an IKEA catalog. We here at the station already know we'd rather replace our television than every single window in the main floor. If you happen upon someone robbing the Tooned In studios one night when we're not here, please help them with the sofa so they don't scratch up the walls. It's rather large. Man, get on the floor, you're gonna get hurt.
Sir, you're gonna have to kill me because I'm not getting on that floor.
Alright, well come sit over here.
Thank you, Mr. Police Officer. Oh, and by the way, that bald one over there? He touches all the women here inappropriately.
Oh, he does he?
Yeah, it's been a problem for a while now.